Okay, welcome. Well, welcome to class 3 in Wisconsin. I'm going to be working on the beginner Intenga exam that Thomas has prepared. I don't have Word. What we're going to be looking at is basically the questions and answers, because that's what life gives us today. So, and that's okay, because it is a beginner exam, and we can talk about why it's that answer. Now, there's nothing confusing in this exam. In the advanced Intenga exam, there's one question that has like a couple different answers. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, and so Ken is here to help us out, which is fantastic. I think that's kind of it. The only thing I wanted to mention is that on Wednesday, I moved the class up 30 minutes, because right after class, I'm heading back to Spain. So if you want to join, make sure you come a little bit earlier next time. And so with that, what we're going to do is go ahead and screen share with all of you. And I don't think I can zoom in. Is that edit?
Okay, yeah, a bit bigger is better, yes.
Do you know how to zoom in?
It's a, if it is a browser, maybe Google Chrome has a zoom up button, but it's not a browser, right?
This is just a notepad. You know what? I can make things bigger.
View, maybe view. How about clicking view?
Status bar. Actually, that might help. I don't think my parents have this. This isn't looking good.
Okay, but I think you can manage.
I don't think page setup is going to help me today.
Yeah, I rarely use notepad, so I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, no, that's actually good. So let me just see what you see right now. Yeah, it's pretty small. Screen share, and I don't think I can do anything from here. The only other option I would have is to do it from my email, which, what is this? No, oh no. I knew this was gonna happen. This is like my life. If I save, oh no, I want to cancel that. That's the intermediate. Add, okay, added to my drive. Now, I to say to Google Drive. Now, my question is, how do I get to Google Drive from here? If I can figure this out, I might be able to do it from the drive, which hopefully will give me some options. English test beginner. Save. I'm going to eat that right now. You know, it's a really good learning experience, especially under pressure, like when you're in a class. So, okay, here's this, and okay, there's no zoom options there, and I think this is basically, it looks the same. I thought there was something like I could do with the mouse, but the thing is that my parents have an external mouse, and that just confuses me. Connect more.
I found Yahoo Answers.
It's because you're smart, Ken. Notepad?
Yeah, and yeah, Yahoo Answers for how to zoom and out notepad.
What does it say?
WordPad shortcut key. I think it has another link. Oops.
No, I can't even control the size on here, so we might just have to make it small when I'm not at home. And like I said, my parents don't have any other kind of document that. Isn't this crazy? Translation.
Another site.
Well,
this wait, to
you know, I
come
might
on.
be fixing this right now. So if I select all, and I don't want this.
Shortcut them and they're not require using a no plus we or number cut. Either way, you can change your shortcut keys by many options. Oh my god, it's a bit
You know what?
complicated.
I'm actually doing something completely different, so I don't think
Okay.
you have to worry about
Ah,
this, but not.
yeah, it could work in Zoom. Yeah.
All right, I just need to share something else with everyone on here. So, technical problems today. So I'm going to stop screen sharing this and go back to screen share. This is the one I want. Nope, this is the one I want.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
now
so
it's fine. Yes.
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 Okay,
Yes.
I'm smarter than I think. Okay, so this is the first one. Again, these have the answers, which it is what it is. So we'll have to deal with that today. So this is the first one. So this is hello, and then James is the next word. So we obviously are working with the verb to be, or well, we need a subject as well. So our answer is I'm here. Ken, can you explain to us why we're using I'm in this case?
Because other option how can I say only subject or object or verb only. So we need more subject and verb.
Right.
That's what I
Because if
mean.
not, it's going to be an incomplete sentence. Because in a
Right.
normal sentence, we have subject, verb, and complement. So in
Yes.
this, with I'm, we have I is the subject, or in this case, as a contraction, as the verb. I don't know what happened there. Uh-oh. And then complement here. And actually, this should have a period at the end of the sentence. There we go. Because it is a complete sentence. So perfect. All right. So now with this, let's go down to number 2.
Okay.
See if I can move that down a little bit. Perfect. So what do we have here, Ken? Can you read this for us?
Okay. It's a webcam.
And why do you think it's is the correct answer?
I'm a webcam sounds like robot. So other two are grammatically non-correct. So it's a webcam is the best option. Yeah.
Again, because, well, what does the it represent in this sentence?
Webcam.
Exactly. So it's kind of, I don't want to say redundant because it's not like we're using this too many times. It's just we need, it is a webcam. This object is a webcam, basically. And so if we use this R, this is incorrect. Why is this R incorrect? You
These
will never,
are
ever see
correct.
this.
This is a singular. These, but those
Thank
are plural.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it are is the same thing with the subject it. We have to use is. We
Right.
can't use are, so that's terrible. And
Yeah.
I'm you. No, I don't think you're a webcam unless it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I am.
Like a robot.
Exactly. So problem solved. Let's get a number 3. Okay. And oops. Clicking on things and I don't know where my mouse is. Here we go. Okay. So question 3. Is this a German test? Something. It is an English test.
Mhm.
So what?
What?
Why is no? It isn't.
Ah, because of no, it isn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we have no. I mean, it has to be negative because all of the possible answers are
Yeah.
no. Why is it not possible
There's
here?
no verb in this sentence.
Exactly. We just have the subject and the negative, and that doesn't make sense. Is, but there's no negative.
Yes, that's right.
And why is D not correct? No, it doesn't.
Because how can I say?
Yeah, this is challenging. That's why I
For
asked.
example, correction. If the correction is, do you take this? Do you take a German test? Oh, no. Doesn't make sense. How can I say structure? Because questions start with V verb, so it should be answered in V verb.
Okay, good. Exactly. And now I know what you're saying. Do you take? You can't say that because it's in the moment. And so you say, are you taking?
Yeah.
Anyways, or in this case, is this a German test? You know, it's talking about the status or the state of this exam, this test. And so we have to use the verb to be because we have this adjective German and English for test.
Also,
Okay.
one additional comment for me, some language, like Japanese, can answer no, yes, it isn't. So these language
Oh,
speakers tend to make such mistake. We say
okay.
yes, it isn't. Yeah, but English, yeah, always no
You
and
can't.
negative. Yes.
Wow. Well, that's crazy because, yeah, in English, you cannot mix.
Right.
Well, I suppose it depends on the context because you can say, for example, is this a German test? You know, it is an English test. So it depends on the context and how you ask and the structure. But generally, if we say no, it isn't, no, it doesn't, we're referring to that same object. And in this case, doesn't we use with, the present simple? The present simple, yes. For affirmative and negative, we use the auxiliary verb does. Now, in this case, we're not using that in the original question. We're using the verb to be, like you said. So here we can't mix. We cannot use the verb to be and the auxiliary verb do or does together. They're not friends and they never will be. So, again, problem solved. So very good. Okay, what about number 4 here, Ken? Why don't you go ahead and read that?
Okay. Where do you speak? I speak English. What languages do you speak? I speak English and German.
Okay, and so why can't we use why, how, or who?
Why is what how can I say why the question is for the reason, and how is the question word asking for how can I say the way how to do it was such thing in my
Yeah, the way you
understanding.
do something.
Right, the way you do, yes.
And who?
Who is who how can the asking for person, who do it, yeah.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So for this, um, the only option is what. I mean, you could say which, and then I get a little bit. I don't want to say confused because in Spanish they use which more often than they use the word what.
Mhm.
And so there I'm kind of like, like which one do I use? And I think what is more kind of specific, and
Right.
which you kind of have to choose.
Yeah,
Which
maybe
language of the following speak, for example?
right. Like
And then
choosing between two languages or yes, three languages.
exactly,
And
2 or
yeah,
more.
right.
Exactly. Good. Well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. You know, Ken, I appreciate you being in all of our English classes because I just love challenging you and you do such a good job. So I thank you
Oh,
very
thank
much.
you. Oh, thank you very much.
Perfect. Next question we have here is, where are you from? I'm from Britain. So what's going on here? Why is it where are and not where do, how are, or where is?
Mhm. Where do where do you come from? Makes sense.
Well, you're right. We're missing the word come. So with do, we have the auxiliary verb here, but then we
Right.
also need the main verb, and there's no other main verb in this first question. So that's out. Thank you. What's next?
What are you
You're
from is the
incorrect.
most common phrase. Where are you from?
Exactly. And then how are you from just doesn't absolutely make sense at
Right.
all. That is just incorrect. And where is you from? Why is that incorrect?
Yeah. So where you from is yeah the correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is can't be because we have the subject you and it's you are. for example, when we conjugate the verb to be. So where is he from, for example? He is from Britain, for example. Yes, you can do that, but not in this case.
Maybe in this case, the verb come is omitted. I come from, no, I'm come from Britain.
No.
Yeah, it's a kind of,
To be
I was wondering why people always use this case. In Japanese, we say come from, where you come from, where do you come from?
okay.
But English case, be verb. Yeah, that's.
Well, it's kind of, I don't want to say a phrasal verb, but it's like to be on TV, which we spoke about, I think the first time I did a Wisconsin class. And, to be on TV, this is to be from a place.
Okay.
So it's just the
Phrasal
verb to
verb.
be plus a preposition in this case.
I see. Okay.
But you can say, I come from, but that actually could be more physical. Oh, I come from the store. I was just at the store. So it kind of depends on the context. I come from a different country, for example. We would normally say, but I come from Wisconsin. I personally wouldn't say it. It would be said, but I don't think I think it's one of those things that you hear, but probably isn't really correct, to be honest. So it totally depends on the context. Okay? So good. Oh, look. There's a city that you know.
Yes.
Good. Why don't you go ahead and read this sentence, please?
I live in Tokyo.
Yay. Good job. Okay, so prepositions, one of our terrible friends here in the English language. Why are we using in, excuse me, and not anything else here?
At maybe you mentioned about very specific place like at airport.
Okay.
So Tokyo is not. It could be larger than using at probably. I'm not sure.
Yeah, at is normally used for places. So I'm at home. Okay, so things like that. It's more maybe in the moment you can think about that too. Yeah, it's when you're stationary because you're not moving. So it's mainly for places. Okay, so I'll leave that there for now because I have a different explanation for in. So what about on? Why can't we say I live on Tokyo?
Maybe it's not common on Tokyo. Maybe we are living on the surface of the land, but usually for the town, in is used. So on is not correct. Sounds correct.
Exactly. On we think of things that are like on specific dates, or on is physically on top of something, and we normally don't think of that when we talk about a city. So very good. What about to?
I can say I'm going to Tokyo. Maybe direction or something like that.
Movement.
Movement. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. For example, you can say in any kind of situation, I'm going to work, I'm going to school, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to Boston, whatever. So we can use this in situations in which we are physically going to move. Okay?
Right.
In this case, I live in that's the city. And we use in cases of volume. So what I always tell people is, for example, I have water in my glass. It's within a confined space. And that also applies to cities. And that's basically what we're talking about here. It's because there's a volume of space within a city. So the city limits, basically. Oh, good. Prepositions. Okay, so whoops. I can't control this very well here. So number 7. All right, so our answer here is, do you like chocolate? Yes, I do. What is going on here, Ken? Why can't we use any of the other ones?
Are you like grammatically non correct? Do you
exactly.
like? And like you chocolate, it's also grammatically terrible. And you like chocolate? I think it's colloquial level could be okay, like French, also Japanese. Usual sentence just rising up a pitch in the end. It changes to the question form. Sometimes it happens to the colloquial English, but it's not the actual English.
Right, I agree with you there. So do you like is the one that we have, in question form. You have the auxiliary verb, the subject, and then the main verb. So those are the important ones. Are
Right.
you like can be used in a different context. Are you like your father? Are you like your mother? Are
Mhm.
you similar to is what it's really asking. Okay. However, in this case, as we saw before, when we have the verb to be, we can't really mix it with the auxiliary
Mhm.
verb do. So this yes, I do gives us the
Mhm.
clue that we have
Right.
to use do at least in the first
Right.
part of the question.
Yes. Also, maybe not so many people looks like chocolate. So.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, so that's also, yeah, we don't do that. Perfect. Well, good. Let's get it 8. Okay. So, good question. I think this is more than higher level than a beginner. I would say this is more intermediate level, just because no one uses this word
Yeah,
in a lot of contexts. So, can you
maybe
explain?
old.
Yeah,
Yeah, old.
what do you know about this?
Usually I say who is this phone, but whose is maybe a bit old English, but grammatical correct, maybe.
I'm gonna disagree with that statement.
Okay.
Sorry, Ken. Basically, whose is used in possession.
Hmm. Okay.
So, whose is this phone? I would actually say whose phone is this? I would use
Uh-huh.
it differently. So, I think
Oh, yeah.
maybe you're correct in the actual structure in this question. Yes, it's probably maybe a little older English because I'm so modern and young. I would say it differently. But whose is yes, absolutely used in whose I suppose whose phone is this, in a group or whose shoes are these?
Mm-hmm.
Just so who's the owner of this object, for example.
Hmm.
Okay. So if we say who is this phone, that just doesn't make sense. That's basically incorrect. It doesn't make sense. But you're kind of saying who is the telephone, like in the room. Who's the telephone? Who
Hmm.
is this telephone? That it's not even a correct sentence. You could say who is
The,
the telephone for Halloween this year, for example, but
so
no.
who is the telephone? That who asking for the owner of the telephone, right?
No, who is the telephone would be saying basically you're going to dress up in costumes and someone
Mhm.
is going to dress up as a telephone.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay.
So big difference here.
Wow.
Very big difference. So the possessive whose is super important. And then for
Mm.
example, if we say where is this phone? Normally when something is near us, we would say this. When it's physically far away, we would use that. Okay, so where is this phone? That would, in my general idea, be a father, a parent asking a child to
Mhm.
basically use vocabulary. Where is this phone? It's on the table, for example.
Okay.
Things like that. This is
Mhm.
not correct. Okay, and
Mhm.
then what is this phone? Well, you just said it's a phone, so what is it? It's a phone.
Mhm. Okay.
So that doesn't make sense either.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Perfect. Good, good, good. All right. So, question 9. Can you read this for us, Ken?
Okay. How was the film? Quite good. I enjoyed it.
Why can't we use the other ones?
Much good. Would be very good. Much good is not used.
Right.
Very good.
And we use much. I just want to add this for countable and for uncountable nouns,
Right.
and good is an adjective, so that's just not correct. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Quite obviously is correct. What about
Right.
but?
Maybe, but is maybe the question is it is how can I say? Uh, was the film interesting? I said it's interesting, but blah blah blah. So that's
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Yes, because but is a connector. And so with just a plain adjective here, you can't, you need more than that. So that's out. And fine, what about that? Do you think we can use
fine
that?
and fine and good is similar, almost same meaning. So So it
Mm-hmm.
also doesn't make sense.
What you know? What I can make sense of this by adding a comma. So you can say, "How was the film? Fine, comma good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it." In
Right.
that case, sure, because you're kind of saying fine. Well, maybe it isn't just fine. It was good. So you're saying
Mhm.
fine, comma good,
Mhm.
and that way
Yeah.
you can use it.
Okay. Mhm.
But we don't have a comma in this sentence, so we can't use
Right.
it. Okay, good. Okay, so let's talk about this one. So Wolfgang is a name of a person, not super
Mhm.
common, but it does exist.
Mhm.
Doesn't speak English. All right, so let's talk about these three and why we cannot use them.
Mhm. Isn't is how can I say? It's not correct. I don't know why, but it's not correct.
Let me
The
help
verb
you.
is not used instead. Because of the speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't speaking English maybe a bit makes sense,
Well,
but
then you're changing the verb tense to present negative, present continuous. So
right,
yes, we can use it, but not in this sentence because speak is concrete. You can't change that.
right, right.
And we use the verb to
Also,
be for states, and this is
right,
not a state. This is basically a
right.
statement.
Yes.
Anything else to add?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What about don't? Why can't we use don't?
Don't is a speak. It's a Wolfgang is a third person, present, and one more. That's a rule of English.
Third
In that
person
case,
singular, negative,
yeah,
present simple.
right. Don't change to that. I that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm. And hasn't? Why can't we use hasn't?
Hasn't spoken English yet. That makes sense, but it's not
Mhm.
present perfect sentence. Speak is the
Right.
original verb, yeah, and infinitive verb. So
Well, and that's
yeah,
the case, is that speak is in the infinitive form, or we
right,
can, I don't know, the base form, we should say. And
right,
hasn't, it's going to be one of the perfects, or it's going to be the present simple negative.
mm-hmm,
But because we have another verb, it's not going to be the present simple negative in this
right,
case.
mm-hmm,
So hasn't, we would have to use the past participle, which is spoken. Hasn't spoken, and that's not what it says, so that's out as well.
mm-hmm.
So very good. That's perfect. Going very well. What about number 11? Let's just make some room here. So
Mm-hmm.
has he got? Why are we using has he got?
Because Thomas speaking British English.
That is a perfect answer. What would Americans say, Ken?
Does he? Does he get?
Yes.
Yes. Does he have or get
Right.
have?
So if
Mm-hmm.
I say does he have would be the correct. However, in this
Right.
case, it's just do he have, so we can't
Right.
use that. Do he got it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Does he got? We say does he got? It's more of a physical something. It's
Mm-hmm.
not really about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then has he blue eyes? We're missing something here. We need another verb because has in this case is the auxiliary verb.
So maybe does he got in American English maybe sounds like buying blue eye or something.
I
Like this.
missed that last part.
Uh, if I say does he get blue eyes, which means he buy the blue eyes like item.
Right. Did he
Okay.
get?
Yes. No.
I would add more information to that because you could also, did he get his blue eyes from his father or mother?
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
in this
kind of
case, it means
heritage. Yeah. Okay.
receive.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Now, if he went and had surgery, then you would refer to the surgery. Did he get blue eyes in surgery, or are those natural, for example? So
Mm,
you do have to specify there, otherwise it sounds a bit
mm,
strange.
right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So perfect. Now back to prepositions. Let's take a look at this.
Okay. Your lesson is on Wednesday at the afternoon. Sorry,
In.
not that. The afternoon.
This is how you make a general good. No. So in the afternoon. Why
Yeah.
are we using on for Wednesday?
On for the preparation for a day, and in. the preposition for time.
Well, if I ask you what time is it now, what you're going to say, or what time did class start? At 9:30 in Wisconsin, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily time. This is referring again to volume when we're using in, just like afternoon. For example, here, the afternoon in Wisconsin would be from 12 o'clock, because that's noon, 12:01 actually, to probably 5 or 6 in the afternoon, which means, and then after that, the evening starts, okay? So the afternoon is a period of time, it's a duration, and so within that, we're talking about a volume of time.
I see.
So then we're using in again, just like those cities, okay? At, we use again for places. There are no places here. On, for specific days, like you said, for Wednesday, that's great. And that's basically it, okay? Oops, so good. I gotta use this. Okay, so 13. How many women are there is the correct answer. Is it, does it, gives it? Is there anything here that, I mean, gives it is terrible. How many women gives it? That just doesn't make sense. How many women does it? I mean, we can't use does because that's for third person singular, and women is in plural form. And then is it, how many women? No. Again, because women is in plural, this is in singular. We can't do that, Ken. So, how many? All right, and women are countable, so we're using many and not much. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that as well. Any questions or comments, Ken?
No. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay. So, do you want to read this one for us with the correct answer?
Okay. Sorry, I have one question for previous question.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. There. If I say how many women in there makes sense, or usually I was told there is not followed by the preposition go there, but some people said in there sometimes makes sense.
Well, I would say in that room. I wouldn't say how many women, well, are there in there. But in this case, there are is referring to quantity. You can say there are 50 women in that room. Now, to make a question out of that statement, how many women are there in that room if you wanted to specify?
Maybe in there is not common, probably, to say.
Well, in there needs to be a volume of space. So we're still referring to volumes with the preposition in. However, in there is referring to a specific place. You know what I mean? So in the hair salon, in the room, in the kitchen, in the shop, for example.
Okay, kind of in the specific place.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
And are there is more in general. So it really depends on the context. Like, for example, how many women were there at the party last night? We don't need to say, in the kitchen at the party, because it doesn't matter. We're talking about something in general, and the party is a place. Okay? And if we use in, it would be more specific. How many women were there at the party in the kitchen at 9 o'clock last night? So then we're using a ton of prepositions, and they all are very specific for their situation. In the kitchen is a place. We're talking about a volume of space. At 9 o'clock, we use at for times as well as places. So it just completely depends. I mean, English is a huge puzzle. So this is
okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, good. All right, good. So now if we look at question 14, what would you like to drink? Orange juice, please. Why, again, tell me why we can't use any of the other options.
Oh, why do you like to drink is the person asking the reason why. So not a choice. It's not a question for asking choice.
Well, we have the question word what in this case. So
what kind of beverage?
Right.
Yeah.
What like you to drink is not correct, because what do you like to drink, or what do you want to drink, depending on the context, because this has an answer of what this person wants to drink. So you can't say, what do you like to drink? Orange juice, please. Okay, no, that's you're basically saying, give me an orange juice. So you're not answering correctly. You say, what do you like to drink? Orange juice. I like to drink orange juice. So that's one way, but when you say please, it means more like in the moment you're asking for it. Okay, anything else to add here?
So what do you like to drink? How can I say? I confused. Maybe it, why it is wrong? What do you like to drink?
What do you like to drink is asking something in
Want.
general.
What do you like to drink? Maybe do you want to drink?
What do you want to drink? Yes, you can say in this sentence, in this question. However, it's not an option. That's that's bad.
Meaning different. Okay, not asking for choice.
Right. What would you like is a little bit more formal, instead of saying, what do you want to drink? You know, it's like, oh, what would you like to drink? So it's more formal. So you can't ask, what do you want to drink? What would you like is more formal, and that's the only difference.
Okay.
And what do you like to drink? Like I said, this is more in general, and so you can't say, I want this now, basically. That doesn't make sense. What drink to drink? If you're speaking in very simple language, it's very simple English, what drink to drink, I suppose they might answer you. But it's really not grammatically correct. And what like you to drink doesn't make sense. We need, what do you like to drink? And again, that's more in general. That's not. So A and C would have, A would have to be put into the C form here. And that's it. So, any other questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Okay, good. Let me move down here. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and read the sentence for us?
Can you cook? Yes, it's my hobby.
Very good. So let's first talk about the answers C and D here, which are absolutely terrible. Why are these terrible, Ken?
Do and can are be verb are and can cannot be used the same sentence.
Right. Do you know why?
Do and can is both are auxiliary, right? So one auxiliary verb in one sentence, and be verb and can auxiliary verb. Yeah, it's not correct actually in the same sentence.
Well, this kind of goes back to the word can. Can is a modal verb. And so you can't, with a modal verb, you can't use any auxiliary verbs. So, be and do are out of the question. So that's why those two are just absolutely wrong. They're absolutely terrible. And it says, no, you cook. Now, this is very broken English, is what we say when it's not correct. What do we need to do to change this to make it correct?
And do you know about cooking?
Okay, I would say, do you know how to cook?
Oh, do you know how to cook? Yes.
And then they can say, yes, it's my hobby, or yes, I absolutely love cooking. And so this is just terrible. So can you cook means, are you physically able to cook? And then this person is not only saying yes, but also explaining that not do they only know physically how to cook, but if they like it, it's their hobby.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in this question and answer here. So good. I want to finish this today. There's 20 questions, so I just kind of want to finish this. So living in Britain is more expensive than in Germany. Why is that the correct answer here?
This is a comparison more something than structure. That's yeah.
Exactly. So we have first, the situation is living in. Okay, we're using living with the ing because living is the subject of the sentence, so we use the ing form. In for obviously the countries that we're comparing here, we have Britain and Germany, so those are two. And then the structure is to be And this refers to the first country, so it's a singular, so we use is. More expensive than, as you said, that's just the structure to be, and then the comparative adjective with than, and then the other part. And also in this sentence, because we have living in, we don't need in this part of the sentence. Now we have it because it's correct. You can say living in Britain is more expensive than living in Germany. But because we know what we're referring to, we can take out words. Okay? Any questions here?
No, thank you.
Good. And we use most expensive for the superlative, so we can't use that. The more expensive, we can't use that either because more, we don't use the word the. That's also the superlative. And expensive is just the normal adjective, which is not complete. All right, good. So for 17, let's get down here. So what are you doing is our correct answer here. What do you do? What does that mean? See, what do you do is actually okay, but it depends on the context.
Yeah, usually it's asking for occupation, asking for job.
Exactly. Yeah, what do you do? I'm a teacher. That's correct. So I'm not a huge fan of this question, I suppose, but it's okay. And then what do you doing? Why is that one not correct? B.
What are you doing makes sense, but do you doing no, not correct.
Because you're mixing the present simple and continuous tense together, and you cannot do that. We can't use the auxiliary verb do when you have a verb with ing at the end. That's impossible. So next is what have you do?
What have you done makes sense.
Exactly. So, and why?
Because it's present perfect. What have you done lately?
Exactly. So we need the past participle here, and we don't have it. We have the base verb. So that is, again, not complete. Okay. Now this one. So why did you use my shampoo? Because I didn't have any is the correct answer here. So the first, what is the verb tense in the first sentence? Why did you, past simple, yes. So we have the auxiliary verb did in this case and not do, because use is our main verb, and then because I didn't have any, we need the auxiliary verb did or didn't in this case, and the base verb here, and we have the past tense here. We can't do that because I hadn't any. That is not correct, and I didn't any is also not correct. We need something, a verb after these two. Perfect. Well, let me go down. I'm just trying to go quick here at the end to finish this. So question 19, can you read this for us, Ken?
Do you want to come out with us? No, I'm going to stay at home tonight.
Why is it going to and not will?
Because I think it's a concrete plan. That's why.
Okay, yes. That's one. I mean, first of all, if we look at the actual sentence, we can't use the verb, we can't use will in here. Right. And so otherwise that would be, I will be staying, that would be the continuous, the future continuous. Now we can't do that. And then I'm to stay, and we can't, no. So this is the be going to verb tense here. Okay. I'm staying at home tonight is also okay, just because we can what is that called? Interchange? No. We can, no. The present continuous and the be going to are interchangeable. That's the word I was looking for. Just had to change my structure, and I'm moving this. Okay. So the rest of these obviously are not okay. Gone, we can't use a present past participle after the verb to be that's conjugated. Unless it's a passive sentence, and this is not a passive sentence. Okay, so let's take a look at the last one here. I like this shirt. I'll take it. Why am I using I'll in this case? And not, for example, the present continuous. Not that it's one of the options, but...
Maybe because you're going to buy that shirt.
And is this a planned or non-planned action?
Non-planned action.
Thank you. So when it's an immediate instant, when I say instant, I think of will, because will has an I in it. Instant starts with an I. That's how I think it's an instant decision. So it's will. Okay. And you say, I'm going to take it is also okay if you kind of plan on looking around at the shop a little bit more. So it kind of depends on the context, but really it doesn't matter. So I take it is not correct because you're going to buy it. You haven't bought it yet, so you can't use the present tense. I'll taking it does not make sense because this would be the future continuous tense. We can't because we are missing the verb to be. And I taking is also not correct. We're missing the verb to be here to make the present continuous tense. Any questions?
Yeah. Can I say I'll have it? Because in America, in a restaurant, I ordered I'll have hamburgers. Yeah.
I'll have a hamburger.
Yeah. So I'll have it makes sense?
No, because it's not yours yet. It's not in your possession yet. I'll have means I'll eat. I'm going to eat.
Okay. Not for the wear, clothes.
No, I mean, you can say, at home I have a black dress, for example. Yeah, you can say that because it's in your possession. But that's about it. In this case, I'll have it is, no, I'll take it means I'll buy it, basically.
Okay.
So you can't interchange that.
I can order I'll have hamburger, but I cannot say I have this shirt on the clothes shop.
Right. Unless it's at your home, you don't have it yet.
I see. Okay.
So there is a difference there, but have can be, what is it, a transitive and non-transitive verb? It can be an action or non-action verb. I have a cat is not an action verb. That's something that I have. It's a possession. And then I'm having lunch at 2:00. I'm having means I'm going to eat. That is an action verb. Okay, so it does depend on the context. So what I'll do is I'll say goodbye here. I'm sorry for my hair. It's not very beautiful today. So that's basically it for today. Like I said, next class is a half an hour earlier than today. We will be finishing at 10 o'clock in Wisconsin time. So take a look at what that is in your area. And we are going to talk about situations. It's going to be a conversation class about what you would do in a certain situation. So we will talk about work situations. Okay, you have to order for lunch. You have to order lunch for everyone. What will you do?
Yeah. On the calendar, your next class 8 p.m. here, but just 30 minutes earlier than this class, which means 11 p.m. here.
Well, what time is it for you right now?
Midnight 30.
Okay, so we will finish at midnight. So it'll start at 11. It should start at 11. So
okay, 11. Okay, I got it. Wednesday 11 p.m. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But is it correct or not correct? Because I checked and Thomas does have it correct in one other thing that we have.
On reading entrepreneur, the class is started at 10 p.m. in Japanese time, not 11.
Okay, well that's different because I'm going to be back in Spain for that one.
Sorry, but it's okay. Yeah, next. Okay, what would you do? Is that next? Yeah, okay. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You said 11 p.m. here. Sorry. Yeah, I got it.
Hey, it's complicated when you teach all over the world in different time zones and then you go to a different one. So, but good, perfect. Well, I hope to see you then. Everyone who watched the class, I hope you enjoyed today. Great explanations, Ken. Thank you very much. Nothing makes me happy than talking about grammar. So, with that, I'm going to go because I have plans today. I'm using the be going to. I'm going to go. So, I will hopefully see you on Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.